Fourscore and several classes ago, I wound up on this campus of Brigham Young University. I was a kind of a high-minded freshman right out of high school, thought I knew everything, of course, as most high school graduates do. And I thought I was doing pretty well until I entered the first day of classes and walked into American Heritage. There, Dr. Latimer said something about the human predicament, and I don't know what that means even to this day. All I knew is I passed the class. But in terms of being a new BYU freshman, I knew that I was in some sort of predicament, and I needed some help. But it wasn't until many years later that I learned a very important principle that I wish I had known as a freshman. That was what the phrase, "make the most of your BYU experience," means. How many of you have heard of that phrase? It's kind of a self-explanatory thing, kind of like remember who you are and what you stand for, like you're going to have a bout of amnesia or something. So what I want to do today is give you a definition. I want to talk about what it means to make the most of your BYU experience, how to do that, and why it's so important to do before you leave. So what does it mean? Well, let's put it this way. Some of you enter this campus because your parents, when you were born, injected a dye into you to make sure you bleed blue rather than that very dark shade of pink. Others of you, if you were like me, you just kind of applied to BYU and you just crossed your fingers, hope you got in, and thank goodness you did, or else you didn't know what you were going to do for the rest of your life. But however you came here, do your best. That's my definition. To do your best. And to do your best with what you've been given and what you have. Let me tell you a story. In the 1968 Mexico City Olympic Games, there was a man named John Stephen Akwari. He was from Tanzania. I don't know where that is. I just know he was from there. But he came to Mexico City as a marathon runner. He started the marathon. Hours went by. The first place person had already finished, won his gold medal, had probably already gone home before John had even finished. The stadium started to empty. John hadn't crossed the finish line yet. Then he entered the stadium limping. See, John had, in his course of running the marathon, tripped, fallen, and dislocated his knee. He entered the stadium bruised, obviously limping, and when a reporter asked him, why'd you even continue? Why didn't you just give up? He looked at the reporter and said, "My country didn't send me to Mexico City to start the race, they sent me to finish the race." That's what BYU has done for you. They have allowed you to start this race of education. Finish it. They gave you an opportunity and took a very big chance on you to allow you to be here. Take that chance, because where much is given, much is still required. Okay, so how do we make this whole thing work? First thing is go to class. Pretty simple, I know. But when it's really cold outside, as it was this morning, I'm sure, like all of you, I thought of, sleeping in and stuff, which I did. That's okay. I still made it to class. But go to class. Show up. Don't just be a seat filler. Learn. Get an education. It's the most important thing you'll probably ever do. And above all else, respect your teachers. Honor them. Do not think for a minute that you are entitled to an education because you are here. You're not. You are not God's gift to the university. Rather, this university is God's gift to you. Dallin H. Oates said of our professors, many have left very promising positions elsewhere to spend their lives in your service. For your sake and out of respect for what they represent, honor them with careful attention and your best efforts. Besides going to class, the number 2 thing you can do while you're here is get involved and go to activities. That means sporting events. Yeah, Harleen and Collie are still open. It means sporting events, it means concerts, it means music, it means dances, it means enjoy the time that you have here because you're not going to get another opportunity like this. Now that leads me to the last point of why is it so important to make the most of this experience that you have. Well, you even probably think there's two sides here. Some of you think there's too many Mormons here. Others of you think there's not enough. But it doesn't matter what you think, because as the old saying goes, this is Happy Valley. Make the most of your time by getting involved and such activities. Here at this university, we have the privilege to learn both the sacred and the secular. They're joined all in one. As a chemistry major, I've had a lot of classes open with prayer. And believe you me, we need it. We need all the help we can get over in the Benson building. That's probably why they put us so close to the Joseph Smith building. But as Elbert Hubert said, you can lead a boy to college, but you can't make him think. That's why it's so important to make the most of your time here. Think, grow. No other place will afford you such opportunities. President Hinckley said, you have and will likely never have a greater opportunity for happiness. Think of that while you're in finals. You will never have a greater opportunity for happiness than while you're here on this campus. Most of all, it's expected of you. It's expected of all of us to do the very best we can with what we've got. And we're reminded all the time as we come to campus that we're to enter to learn and to go forth to serve. Perhaps that is the most important reason to make the most of this experience that you have right here. So I've just given you my own definition of what it means to make the most of your BYU experience, how to do it, and why it's important. But now it's up to the rest of you to go home and ask yourself, are you making the most of your time here? Are you fulfilling your obligation to the university to learn and to grow and to indeed be able to go out and serve? 75 classes ago, and more credits than I can count, I entered BYU. It's been a long, long time. Many, many classes, many, many professors. But I can tell you, and I can look each of you in the eye and say that it's been worth it for me to be here. It's been very much worth it to be in class and to be taught by some of the best scholars that we have. It has been the best experience that I've ever had. Please don't leave here wondering if you did enough, if you went to enough activities, if you studied enough. Don't leave here with regrets. This is your alma mater. And hopefully when you leave, you will be able to still raise your colors high in the blue and cheer the Cougars of BYU. Thanks.